I'm Sharon Idahosa, the CEO of Let's Talk Agriculture, an agricultural public relations and communications firm. I really want to appreciate the Global Council for the promotion of international trade for giving me the opportunity to be here today. So today, I will be speaking on the topic driving a global food system transformation. So I believe that it is very important that we have a foundational knowledge of what the food system is all about before we seek ways to transform the food system. Now, what is a food system? The food system is the production, the processing, and distribution of food throughout the globe. The goal of the food system is to help reduce hunger and malnutrition. Now, when we are talking about the food system, we must be looking at the four pillars of food security. Now, I'm going to highlight that just briefly. So the four pillars of food security involves availability, it involves accessibility, it involves utilization, and stability. When we are talking about availability, we are talking about the product, we're talking about the supply of food through production, distribution, and exchange. Now, when we are talking about utilization, we say, I have on my slide where we say food safety plays an important role when it comes to the utilization, as it involves handling, preparation, and storage of food, which can affect food utilization if not properly considered. As soon as a household obtains food, there are a variety of factors that can affect the quality and quantity of food that is being consumed by that household. So it is of great importance that food consumed is safe, meeting the physiological requirements of individuals. So the health of individuals controls how food is being metabolized, showing that healthcare is part of utilization. So when we're trying to improve this pillar of food security, it is important for us for a general education about nutrition. It is not enough that we have food available to us, but is it accessible? Because that's a major concern for us when it comes to the agricultural sector. We don't just want the food to be available. We want to be able to access it. There's so many food out there now. I mean, we have so much food. Farmers are producing, but yeah, so many people can barely access this food. So we need to ensure that there's accessibility for there to be food security. Now, I'm just going to quickly dive right into how we can transform our global food system. So my discussion points would be, number one, produce sustainable and nutritious food. Number two, reduce food loss and waste. Number three, support livelihood and well-being. Number four, innovating our food distribution system and markets. So I'm just going to briefly talk about these four discussion points that I have just mentioned. So now when it comes to producing a sustainable and nutritious food, well, first, let's talk about what sustainability is. It is about fulfilling the needs of the current generation without compromising the needs of the future generation. Just because we're trying to solve a problem now doesn't mean we shouldn't have a plan for later. Or because we're trying to solve a problem now doesn't mean that we should mess up the one we're supposed to have for the future. So now when we're talking about producing sustainable and nutritious food, it is not enough that we have enough food to eat. The most important thing is that we have safe and nutritious food at all times. So it is funny how nutritious food has gone extinct. I mean, over the years in Africa, I mean, I believe that we had amazing foods. But if you look at it now, you're seeing that we don't even have those food available. And I'm wondering, where did all of this food go to? What happened to the food? And I came to a conclusion that people are no longer prioritizing the food that we're supposed to give us, that we're supposed to have the nutritional value. Now, people are looking at the sweet tooth. I'm also a sweet tooth, but people are also looking at the food that no longer gives the nutritional value. And I'm just wondering why. Why are we looking at food that no longer gives us the nutritional value that we need? People are looking at buying shawarma. I don't know about you, but people are buying shawarma. People are buying pizza. People are buying burger. I mean, people are just buying the food that doesn't even give the nutritional value that we need in our food. Okay, so this is a major concern for us. I mean, you can also explore my podcast episode where I had a conversation with someone from the Nutrition International and Harvest Plus. I mean, we talked about ways that we can provide good nutrition in rural communities and food and nutrition security for the global good. So if you want to get more information about this, I'll really implore you to go check out letstalkagriculture.com, and you'll see episodes on food and nutrition series. So you'll see something like that. So number 2, we'll be talking about how to reducing food loss and waste. Now, this is another major challenge for our food system, food waste. We produce a lot of food. Yes, that I agree with. But when there is no market for it, it becomes a waste. Our food waste and loss is also as a result of post-harvest loss. And I best believe that post-harvest loss starts from the seeds, not just our infrastructure. So when I'm talking about the infrastructure, we're talking about the road network. But then our food waste starts from the seed. Post-harvest losses starts from the seed. If we can just choose the right variety of seed, then we can start seeing ways on how to prevent post-harvest losses. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't any other sort of challenges when it comes to post-harvest losses. We have different challenges, but I'm saying if we can at least try to solve it from the grassroots, it would help us in future. Now, there are other causes of food waste and loss, and that's where I'm talking about the road network. The road network is still a major challenge. I don't know about other countries, but I know that this is a challenge for many businesses here in Nigeria. So imagine that you finish your harvesting, and then you want to transport to other locations for sale, and then you load up your truck of tomatoes and you're moving, but at the end of the day you see that the truck had issues and then it stopped. It could no longer move. Now that's a problem. That's a problem because the road was bad. The truck could not move with the food because the road was bad. Now the driver is going to be seeking ways on how to fix the vehicle. The driver will be seeking ways to move the vehicle so they can move, but you find out that that time that has been taken by the driver or the mechanic to sort it out, it's already doing a lot of damage to the tomatoes because a lot of sun is already hitting the tomatoes. It is already losing its value. It's already getting pressed. It is infected by pests, because of course you're on the road, so you don't know what is flying, so you can't really say. So at the end of the day, you find out that all of these things are affecting the tomatoes that you're trying to take to a different location. So fixing our road network can also help to prevent post-harvest losses. So you can also check one of my podcast episodes where I discuss with East West Seeds Nigeria's country manager, Adiza Yaro. So feel free to explore this episode as well on the Let's Talk Agriculture website. So many awesome episodes that you can benefit from as a farmer, as a business owner. You can always benefit from this episode. So please do explore it. And if you have any concerns, I can always link you up with my guests, so you can always speak to them as well. Another one is supporting livelihood and well-being. Livelihood and well-being. So I believe that there should be some sort of there should be some sort of structure to support the livelihood and well-being of people that are working in the food system. I mean, smallholder farmers are major contributors to the agricultural sector. I mean, they produce a lot of our food. So it is very important that they have a secure livelihood, because if that is not made available, they will continue to struggle. We don't want our farmers to struggle. I mean, they contribute greatly to the agricultural sector, so we do not want them to struggle. So they should have a secure livelihood, because if this is not made available, they will continue to struggle in building the capacity and resource base to transition to a sustainable models of production. Now, we really have to see how to support our smallholder farmers. They contribute greatly to the agricultural sector. So if we can do this, if we can give them a secure livelihood, then they can put in more effort. They're able to boost the food system. Because I mean, if they're suffering, how can they boost the food system? How can they boost the food system? So we have to seek ways on how to improve their livelihood, their well-being. They should be well taken care of. They shouldn't be seen as poor. Agriculture has been associated with, or rather stereotyped with, poverty, and we don't want that anymore. So let's see how to give our farmers a secure livelihood. Let's see how to provide that for them first, and see if the food system will not be transformed, right? So let's see how to do that for our farmers. This is something that we should be looking at as well. Another point is innovating our food distribution system and markets. Those players that are involved in our food distribution system needs infrastructure. By players, I mean those that are into the production, handling, I mean the transporters, the processors, the packagers, the wholesalers, and the retailers, just name it. I mean, these are the people that are involved in our food distribution. So if they don't have the necessary infrastructure to carry out all of this, how can our food system be better? So the overall goal of our food distribution is to allocate food accordingly, right? We want to make sure that we allocate food accordingly to people. And there are issues like lack of markets, all right? Transports to markets, inability to afford the cost of production. We have lots of food, but access to markets is still a major concern for us. I'm really grateful to see that so many companies are beginning to give access to markets to farmers on their e-commerce platforms. So I'm really grateful to see that people are really trying to see how to create market access to farmers as well. But we need more of it. We need more of this. We need more of this. I'm not gonna lie. And we have to at least try to see how to make the cost of production affordable. We have to see how to make the cost of production affordable. Because if everything is just on the high side, then it becomes very difficult. The food prices will go high. We will not have enough. So we have to see how to support this. So the need to work on our road is also important, because transporting goods to people will become a challenge. That's why I did emphasize on having a good road network. So we should see how to make this available. We need to see how to ensure that we have a good road network and see ways to transform our food system. Hopefully these points I've made could help us to see what needs to be changed, what needs to be done to ensure that our food system is what we want it to be. We are saying that in 2050, farmers need to produce at least 60 to 68% more food for us to meet the growing needs of the population. But we have to fix all of this first. We have to fix all of this first. We have to fix all of this. So if you're saying farmers should produce more food, do they have a secure livelihood? Are they living in good health to be able to provide more food? Now, this is something that we are talking about. Let's first of all see how to tackle these challenges, and making it a good food system and producing more food will become simple. I believe so. So let's see how to work on all of this. I mean, I'm calling on players in this space actually to see how to work around this. Agriculture is teamwork. So if we don't work as a team, we can't get the best results. So I employ all of you in the agriculture sector, in the food system, to see how we can work together as a team. We all have a role to play when it comes to the food system, because I mean, we all eat. So we have a role to play. If you have interest in the agriculture sector, see how to get involved. See how to get involved in transforming our food system. We all have a role to play. It doesn't matter what you're doing, you have a role to play in the agriculture sector. I really want to appreciate all of you for taking out time to listen to me talk. Thank you very much for listening to me talk, and thank you very much to the organizers of this summit for giving me the privilege to be here today. I appreciate you always. So I've come to the end of my presentation. I hope you learned from this, and if you have any concerns, you can always reach out to me. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn, and you can also explore my website as well, SharonIdahosa.com. So thank you very much. I love you guys. And if you have any concerns at all, please do send me an email, info@SharonIdahosa.com. I'm willing to listen to you. I'm willing to work with you on agriculture projects. I mean, it is my joy to see that the agriculture sector is transformed. And if I can do that in my own little way, then I'm happy to work with you. Thank you very much, guys. And do have a lovely, lovely time. Bye-bye.